Hi everyone, my name's Sensei Clint. I'm the Regional Manager for Region 15 GKR Karate on the Central Coast. And we just had a great class, and we're recording our first instructor profile. So without any further ado, let's get stuck straight into it. So we've got Sensei Kirill here, who teaches at Yamina, and on a Monday night, Yamina on a Wednesday night, and also Woi Woi on a Friday. So
On Monday.
Oh, he's still teaching on a Monday though with Sensei John,
Yes.
so he's still there most of the time. So tell us a bit about yourself, Sensei Kirill. What rank are you?
I recently got to the first Q, Sensei.
Okay.
So it means one step before getting to the black belt.
Yeah. Okay. But you're wearing a black and white belt. What does that mean?
That's an instructor's belt, which means I am teaching in class.
Yeah. But you haven't formally got your full black belt as yet.
No, but I'm hoping to.
Just round the corner, eh?
Yeah.
That's
That's
good.
exciting.
Absolutely. And so tell me a bit about where you're teaching and what you're doing there and how long you've been there, and tell us a bit about the classes and such.
I'm teaching on peninsula of Central Coast. It's Yamina Beach and Woi Woi. 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 6 o'clock on Monday with Sensei John. I'm helping him now. And funny enough, he was my first sensei that I started with.
Yeah, right.
Yes. And now I'm working hand in hand with him to teach other people.
Yeah.
Wednesday we have 2 classes, one at 5:30, second one at 6:45 for those who want to do more advanced stuff. And we get more and more people involved in the second class as well, which is also exciting. And Friday, 6 p.m. at Woi Woi Peninsula Center. Pretty big dojo, quite a lot of people coming, and I really enjoy that place.
Yeah. So you're basically looking after the whole peninsula there.
Yes.
It's a bit of a community in itself in the Central Coast, isn't it?
Yes. I have people who help me for sure, like Sensei Nat, Sensei David, and I've helped Sensei John.
Yeah.
And Sensei Eve comes sometimes to help as well. Sensei Dion used to help, and maybe he will also come.
Absolutely. Well, I guess we'll get back into the karate side of things, a bit further on. But tell us a bit about your background, a bit about like your family, and a bit about yourself.
Alrighty, I came to Australia not so long ago, literally in 2013. It's less than 10 years. I come from Kazakhstan, which used to be a Soviet Union when I was born. I came here with a family. I had no one here, just some friends, distant. And since then I've been living here, became a citizen. I have a daughter of 10 years old, and she's the reason why I started karate in the first place. Yes. It's a funny story. We used to live in Hornsby, and she used to do Kung Fu for kids. But it was just once a week for 30 minutes. And then we decided to move to Central Coast, and I needed to find something to replace that activity. And that's how I just Googled it, found on Facebook public school that she was going to, had classes of karate in the evening.
Yeah.
And came there, she had the first class, and I remember like it was yesterday, instead of doing it in the hall, because hall was busy, we had to do it in the classroom. And it was like very interesting environment, but they still did it, and I thought, oh, that's nice. I mean, they're looking after students, and I saw some adults doing it as well, and I asked myself, why don't I just do the same? And maybe it will help my daughter grow as well. And that's how I started.
All right.
Because of my daughter started it, and second class she came, I joined.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was the motivation to come from Kazakhstan? Sorry.
Yes.
What was the motivation, and what made you choose Australia, and why did you move from Kazakhstan? Like, give us a bit of a picture. So that was back in 2013.
Yes.
So about almost 10 years now.
When I was a little kid and all that 19th collapse of USSR happened, it was a very hard place to live, to survive even, I would say. It was quite dangerous, and my mom used to tell me, you gotta find a better place to be. But she wasn't pushing for anything specific. It was just like, you gotta choose. It could be Moscow, it could be Europe, it could be US, it could be anywhere, Canada. But me choosing IT as my profession, as my trade, it was easier to move either to Canada or Australia. But I thought, like, come on, Canada is literally same climate as I have, where you have cold winters, you don't have summers as much, maybe like short 3-month period. Why would I change same to same? So I went to a more warmer place. And it was not hard to do. It was probably the most easy to complete migration process of that time. I don't know how it is now, but still. The only downside is it's far from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You know, to go back home, it's a big journey, yeah, especially these days.
Absolutely. So you moved over. You said about Hornsby. Did you go straight to Hornsby? Or?
No. We started in the middle. Like we started in Mossman. Used to live there a couple of years. Then we spent several years in eastern suburbs, and then we moved to Hornsby when my daughter grew up to school age. And prices started rising everywhere, and we always wanted to live next to the ocean.
Right.
And after living in Hornsby for 2 years and realizing the ocean is a bit too far, that's how we ended up on Central Coast.
Right. And so now I think you're like literally a walk from the beach.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 minute walk, and I'm on the beach, which is living la vida loca.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's definitely lifestyle.
It is, yes. It's hard to change. I mean, I like two things. I like mountains and I like ocean. I don't know what I like more, but having one of those things next to me is beneficial.
Yeah, and I mean, you can get into the bush. It's not like it's too far away either.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Brilliant. And you mentioned as far as like work and so forth that you're in IT. Tell us a bit about what you do.
Yeah, I'm just a programmer. What people tell, how they call it. If I go into specifics, I do mobile applications for phones that we now have. Everyone has them, so I always have something to do.
Yeah, you're not going to run out of a job there too quick, are you?
Yes.
So you specialise in that avenue and sort of learned your trade and then nailed it down.
Yeah, I just find myself now in a spot where I probably reached the heights of the trade, and all I can do is just choose the conditions where I can work.
Yeah.
I don't want to grow into the management role. I don't see myself doing that, even though I used to do it for a while, managing a team of other developers.
That's a different skill set though, isn't it? I mean, you're specialised in a certain thing, you go into a team management role and your responsibility is getting other people to perform, which is not as, totally different.
It's different. It's a lot of meeting times. It's a lot of chit-chatting with other people. I prefer doing stuff, not talking about doing stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So one last question, more about yourself and your past before we sort of delve into the karate side of things, which most people, I guess, in the club know you for. What are some of the defining moments you would say in your life up to date?
Moving to a different country, birth of the daughter, that was amazing, and starting martial arts.
Yeah.
Yes, that's like, and starting yoga before that. So yoga helped me a lot with martial arts when I started martial arts.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So the yoga, you started yoga. You're doing yoga before you were doing karate.
Yes.
Yeah. So when did you start your yoga?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. So basically, you came to Australia,
Doing
or
that,
you started before you left Kazakhstan.
Yes.
You had started beforehand.
Yes.
And you continued your practice over
Yes.
here. And what did you find the benefits for your yoga?
Oh, control over the muscles, control over not as much as I would like, but control over the mind, and just a healthier lifestyle. Like completely changed how I look at what I do, what I eat, what I think, what I tell. And it's like holistic approach to life, which just changes everything.
Yeah.
And I know, like now, I just get away from that a little bit, then come back, then get it. But still, I'm trying to tread that path further. It's not easy to do it. It requires a lot of discipline. So sometimes you just we all slack at some points. But I always come back. At least I try to.
I'd have to say that I don't. As the bus goes past, it's been raining outside. But you say we all slack, but I'd say you'd probably be one of the people that's when your slacking is a bit less than most of our slackings. Pretty disciplined guy.
It's something I cannot tell. It's for others to tell.
Sure. So I know you're quite disciplined in your eating, or quite mindful the way you eat.
Yeah.
And is that a part of something that's you've stuck with from the yoga training?
Yeah. Well, when I started doing yoga, it was not physical part of it. It was philosophical part of it. And one of the things I learned from there that probably eating meat is not something we really need. And I tried it and I never came back. It just happened one morning. I woke up and I'm not doing it anymore. I never came back.
Okay.
And I feel myself pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I don't have drawbacks or desires or.
Don't miss it.
No, don't miss it.
It's cool. Very cool.
Even though it was hard first couple of years in Kazakhstan not to eat meat.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
It's a big part of the
Part
culture.
of it, yes.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of the culture.
So you found it easier to have those sort of dietary desires here, or like requirements, yeah?
Yeah. And there are a lot of replacements now for like meat-like products, but made not out of meat these days.
Yeah.
Which we didn't have 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like simply you couldn't have sausage made not out of meat.
That's right, yeah.
Now you have a variety which you can kind of replace and still, I'm eating a sausage, which is vegan.
Yeah.
Which sounds funny.
Yeah. I mean, I eat meat, but my son would prefer the vegetarian sausages over the normal sausages himself. So, and I think I would do it. I've gone down that path every now and then, but I need someone to be chefing for me. I think. Right, it's too easy to grab
It's the hardest part.
something else. Yeah. Yep. What is it? The 5 Ps. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. We've all got something to work on. Okay, so let's jump into the karate side now. We touched on it before, but so remind me again. When did you start karate? You moved from Hornsby. You came to the Central Coast when?
I started karate August 2018.
August 2018.
Yes.
So, and you've been training, and then how did that go from there? You mentioned that you started with Sensei John, Sensei John Hart.
Yes.
Whereabouts?
And John Rove.
And John Rove?
Yes.
Whereabouts was that?
Umina Public School. But that was right at the start of direct debit system that we have now.
Yeah.
So we almost from the get-go, we started going to all the possible classes around the neighborhood.
I.e. the set fee, but you can train as often as you like.
Yeah.
And so you started off, how many classes, what once a week?
I was doing 6 classes a week.
Straight off the bat?
Probably starting from September. So in August, I was just getting information, doing 2 classes that we had in Umina. We didn't have Voivod class at the time. And then I just figured, oh, there is a Karajan class, oh, there is a Niagara Park class, oh, there is a Narara class. And we had classes every day of the week except for Saturday.
Yeah.
And I was doing all those classes.
So you had Saturdays off?
Yes.
Home training?
Not really.
Wow. Okay. And what did you find the benefit of that? Like, is that just who you are is that your personality? When you do something, you end up just going for it and like hammer and tong, or is it something that you just really enjoyed, or you wanted to grow and progress through the belts? What was your drive? What was your motivation?
There were several reasons that were interchanging each other. One of them was just getting away from the other things in life, like work or some other things I had. And I still use karate for that. I come into the dojo and leave the troubles behind the door. Yeah. And it clears the mind, so you forget about it. Like if anything bothers me before the class, after the class, I completely forget about it. And that was one of the reasons. Second reason was...
Sensei, on that one, Sensei, I know Sensei Peter says, who's the zone director, he's my instructor. He always talks about when you bow at the door, if you're carrying any luggage, you put the bags down as you bow.
Hey.
And basically meaning that when you walk into the dojo, nothing else matters.
Hey.
It's time for you. It's time for you to focus on you. Let all the worries of the world fall away.
Hey.
And ultimately, after the physical training as well, it tends to you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was one of the reasons. Sorry, I butted in there. What was?
Yeah, that was first reason. Second reason was I definitely wanted to get more and more knowledge, like probably too fast, but I could digest it at that time.
Yeah.
At least I thought I could. So yeah, it was growth for me. Because another reason why I started doing karate and how I came to it, when I was a kid and I was watching a lot of action movies from 90s, if you remember them, and there were a lot of martial arts in them.
Absolutely.
Like Jackie Chan,
Yeah.
or Steven Seagal,
Yeah.
all those guys that
Yeah.
were doing all those, or Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee,
yeah,
Van Damme.
Yes,
Yeah.
Van Damme. Yeah, that's Splits. Come
Splits,
on,
yeah.
man.
Amazing.
And I've always wanted to do it, but I unfortunately I never had a proper teacher in the childhood to do that. I did have a go at Taekwondo for a couple months, but I stopped it when I was after the first tournament, really, where I just my ball was handed back to me.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Left.
Yeah.
And there was no one to tell me that it's how it should be. It's like
normal.
the path. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then now, like being pretty successful in my life, I could afford to start doing that myself as an adult, and I wanted to compensate all the time that I lost being a child, and do as much as I can while I'm still kind of youngish.
Yeah.
Before my body starts to fall apart.
Well, how old are you?
I'm turning 39 this year.
39. Yeah, cool. Okay. All right. And so tell us a bit about the journey. Obviously, you started karate, you're pretty much from the get-go, you're like 6 classes a week. And then how did it progress from there? What's been your journey so far to where you are now?
Oh, first, one of the first memorable things in karate was unexpected double grading in the first grading, initiated by Sensei John. Like, that was a little bit of surprise, but that actually lifted my feeling that I'm doing something right.
Yep.
And I kept like working hard to progress, and literally beginning of 2019, Sensei Rene was doing another STP course for new senpais, and I decided to take it, like, why not? And I think July that year, that's when I got these black and white belts, and I started helping Sensei John Rove at that time at Umaina as a senpai.
Yep.
And then you showed up in our region, and Sensei John Rove had to leave after COVID, I think.
Yeah.
That's when I had my first own class going. And all that time I was training as much as I could afford.
Yeah.
Even after getting this belt, I was still doing a lot of classes, but now it just goes down to more of a senior training.
Yeah.
And doing classes in my days when I teach, and having rest on Saturday and Sunday, unless we have a grading that I.
So you started taking 2 days off a week.
Yes.
Slacker.
Yes. But if we have grading, seminars, tournaments, so Sundays still
Make
full
up
on.
for it, don't we?
Yeah.
When we do it big.
Or black belt classes.
And then and so during that time you were probably doing tournaments as well, and special events like traveling down to Sydney and that sort of thing. Any other?
Yeah, one of the things before COVID era was attending black belt camp as a blue belt, which was pretty interesting, and I would love to do it again. Hopefully we come back to that. when all this settles down. Another memorable thing was online teaching that we had.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the thing that we did during second lockdown with fitness classes.
Yeah. So for everyone there, you're actually teaching five sessions of fitness at the lunchtime.
Yes, during the week. Yeah.
Yeah. And you end up with a bit of a following there of loyal people that will take their lunch break off or were working different hours, and so the goal was what was it? Fitter, faster, and stronger during lockdown, and you definitely helped a handful of people there to really come back stronger than they started.
Yeah, I remember first lockdown, it was completely different story. We started really fast at the start with online, and then it just went down, and like you lose motivation and stuff. With second lockdown, we were a bit smarter about that. Yeah. So we kind of headed all the way up to
ramped it up
slowly.
Yeah. Kept it consistent. Consistency. Persistency.
Yes.
Keys.
Yeah.
Okay.
And through all that teaching time, I kept doing my learning and getting belts that I didn't wear.
No.
My brown belt that I have now, I had to wear only once during tournament in different region.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't even have black tips on them.
So what is it for you that like what drives you to be a sensei? Like what is it? What do you get back out of teaching karate and sharing all the stuff that you have learned and gained? What is it for you that motivates you?
I was thinking about this question for a bit the other day, and I remember when we started STP course, Sensei Rene asked us, why are you doing that? And I had a definite answer at that time. I just want to give back to community. Yeah. But that was the surface. And now I'm thinking about it, it was more for myself other than for others.
Yeah.
It's just to teach someone that you have to know it inside out to be able to break it into little things. Probably Einstein said or someone else that if you cannot explain something to a 5-year-old, you don't know that. So it was something along those lines. Yeah. If I come to a class and I have a 6-year-old kid starting and I can't explain him a block, well, I probably don't know how to do it myself. Yeah. That's another thing. Second thing is you get more information as a sensei when you come to senior trainings, for sure. And it's above your level, but like many levels above what you can do right now, which I like. I like to know stuff beforehand, before I get there. And that's for me again, it was beneficial for me.
Yeah.
And another thing that I now start getting with my classes is I get people who grew from the white belt to green belt already. And I keep seeing them coming back to me, doing classes, growing, getting to the gradings and getting next levels and doing tournaments, winning something. So I can see the results of what I do.
Yeah.
That is a big part of motivation,
for
sure. Like, I have several families now that come to my classes and they just there all the time, and it just builds that connection with them that I didn't have before with others, and that also probably came with some experience of teaching. Yeah, obviously didn't have it at the beginning. Now it starts happening. Yeah, that's another level of motivation for me to keep doing it. And still, even when I come to teach, I forget about the things out of the dojo. So it still works the same way. Yeah.
Whether you're teaching or you're training.
Yes, exactly.
Bow at the door, put your baggage down.
Yeah.
And I think you probably, like, part of your growth has probably been part of that teaching as well. As you fill the cup up with knowledge, you come and do your senior training. If you don't pour it out, if you don't share it with someone else, you're not making room for more knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
So that's probably been a big part of your personal growth and the speed of your growth and knowing something multiple different ways, like you said.
Oh, for sure.
Good example.
And I still feel like I know nothing. Like I still feel I know too little,
Yeah.
and there is so much more to take.
One of the beauties in
In the
karate,
future.
isn't it? Like, you never stop.
Never stop. There's no limit of perfection.
No.
I come here, I can see Sensei Paul, Sensei Kirill doing crazy stuff, and I think, yeah, I need probably 20 more years to get there.
Yeah. Well, and I think if you could get to a spot where you learned it all, a person like yourself would get bored pretty quick.
Maybe.
But so have you got any secrets that that you feel have the keys that have helped you to get to where you are in your training that other people can use in their training? And like, I guess we sometimes refer to it as like the black belt secrets, or like it's something that will help people to progress and develop themselves.
There is one thing that I can definitely tell now that works is being fit. Being fit. I know we have karate for everyone, for sure. We have all sorts of people, all sorts of ages, all sorts of abilities. But to be on top of the game, you have to be fit. And I worked a lot on fitness in recent months, and I can see that it's working in the ring, like when I'm sparring black belts.
Yeah.
And I can do something that I couldn't imagine doing a year ago because of my fitness.
Yeah.
Because I can keep going for longer than before. It just brings my confidence up.
Yeah.
It's not that scary anymore,
Yeah.
being out there. And
So when you say about your fitness, I guess a lot of people start karate for exactly that, to get fit.
yes,
And you're referring to the fitness as from the karate training, or do you do extra stuff outside the dojo to lift your level? I mean, I know that you train at a very high level and you have a high expectation of yourself, and there's always more that you can do. So what do you do? What's your sort of say inside, outside the dojo?
Yeah, I used to do a lot of gym trainings when I worked in the city, and I did it every day. And it was crazy training with a guy that was pretty big, and he liked to do what other people were not doing. That's how I started into crazy gym stuff.
Yeah.
It was on the bar. It was something like standing on parallel bars next to the wall with legs up and doing like push-ups on the hands, that kind of.
Yeah, right.
But then when I moved here, I couldn't do it anymore. I started doing a normal gym, which it doesn't entertain me at all. I don't know why. It's just
A lot of people say that. A lot of people we talk to that do karate for fitness are like, I can't just go to the gym and ride a treadmill to nowhere, or ride a bike to nowhere, or lift lumps of steel for no reason. It just doesn't motivate them.
I had some periods of time when I was quite disciplined and kept doing it, and it's all about this. Yeah, you just have a progression of weights and stuff, but there is no like ultimate goal there.
Mm-hmm.
But now I always liked doing stuff on the bars with my body weight, and lucky enough I have a gym, calisthenics gym in Umina that I started going to, and that's something that has a definite goal at the end. There are some exercises I cannot perform right now, and it probably will take me as much time as getting to the black belt.
So what's that? You want to stand upside down on parallel bars and do push-ups?
I can do it.
Oh, you can do that already?
Almost, yeah. Well, probably not a push-up, but I can stand on by handstands, front levers, back levers, planche. Planche is my ultimate goal.
So for those of us that aren't too sure what a planche is,
imagine push-up position for plank,
right?
And now lift your legs in the air. So you're just standing on
With a rope?
No.
Oh.
Just in the air with your muscles.
Oh.
Keeping body straight, you're just standing on your hands.
Right.
On two hands.
CGI movies.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Well, with the rope, it's an intermediate, it's preparatory exercise for
right, okay.
Yes. But
you can't just put like a box down, put your toes on it, and then
green
screen the box out or something. Yeah.
Yes.
No, you're saying it's real. People can do this stuff.
People can do that, and they can push up into the handstand from there. People can do crazy things.
Yeah, wow.
And bars as well, like muscle ups. I used to do muscle ups until I hurt my shoulder.
Yeah.
So now I'm a little bit careful with that. But at some point, I hope to do that again.
Rehab it and strengthen it and go back and go again.
Yeah, shoulder strength. And just doing 50 push-ups, it seems kind of Yeah, probably not hard for many people, but it's still an effort
Well,
to do it
for sure.
regularly.
Yeah, I think it'd be more people that it'd be challenging for than not.
Yeah.
Definitely. And so when you're talking about fitness now, you're talking about like that strength, mobility.
Yep.
So you're actually like, I guess with karate, we talk about like we are the weapon. We don't use weapons.
Mm-hmm.
We become the weapon. Karate ka, I think, is
Yep.
the empty hand.
Yep.
And so we're turning ourselves into a weapon through things like you can do conditioning and all that sort of stuff. Not that we do it necessarily in our club, but Kancho does a lot of nakawari training and that sort of stuff to condition the knuckles. So when you say fitness that's helped you and is a key for you, are we talking about the cardio side of the fitness, or are we talking about the strength and the conditioning, or
we're talking about all of aspects? It's endurance,
yeah,
it's cardio, and it's strength. All three aspects of fitness. I can't imagine having. You can do a lot of weightlifting and have strength, but if you don't do cardio or endurance, and we have a karate bout of 2 minutes, with big weight and no endurance, you're empty 30 seconds into the bout.
Yeah.
You have to be able to stand there for 2 or maybe more minutes.
Yeah.
If there is an extra time, or there are a couple more bouts coming later.
Yeah.
So it's all in there. So I try to do everything, and cardio, and with muscles as well. People tend to either do leg day every day or no leg day at all.
Yeah.
Like, there is an imbalance. I try to balance it, so I do end legs and my upper body as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes together, sometimes separately, depending on what I can do today or can do today. But
well, I think there's a saying that says that success leaves clues, and if we were to look at your progression, I guess, in your karate journey, it has been quite fast, and some people may question that, but then I think the clues are that things like that I look at is you were doing yoga beforehand.
Yep.
So your core strength was quite strong before you started karate. Your flexibility was quite good.
Yes.
And so you're quite disciplined in that before you started. You had done some gym stuff and all that sort of thing. So the weapon was pretty much ready to go before you started karate. Yes. It didn't take that time to go. Then when you did start, you started with a bang. You didn't train once a week, where if you're training once a week, it's way better than not training at all. Anything is better than nothing. And we've all got to start somewhere. But you didn't start once a week. You started with 6 times a week, which you could only do that because your body was ready for it and your life circumstances were, worked out that you could do that.
Yeah.
And then after that, you didn't just leave it at that. You then looked at other options of your strength building and your strength and your conditioning, and then started sharing as a second sensei / senpai helper in the classes, which meant that you were taking in good information from the senior classes and sharing it, making more room for you to put more good stuff in, which accelerates your personal learning experience.
Yes.
Also in the teaching, like you said, if you said that if you can't teach something to a 6-year-old, maybe you don't know it well enough yourself, which forced you then to really dig in and learn things from not only your learning perspective, but my learning perspective and someone else's learning perspective. Learn it and be able to put it in a way that was simple enough for a 6-year-old, as you said, to kind of get it, which again accelerated your learning there. And then I guess you just accelerated that even more with training the weapon outside of classes.
Yep. Now
with the body weight exercises and these crazy goals, I guess that some people would think crazy goals, but quite achievable for someone like yourself with the planche. So
hopefully, maybe never, but still somewhere to go.
And also, I think your mind is along that way as well. I've taught a lot of people over the years, but I think you like to have all the information. Some people like to have a little bit, drip feed it, like that. I'm more like that. I take things in a bit slower, but you like to have all the information so you can process it, work your way through it, and then deal with it. So you maybe something that comes from your career, your strengths in your IT and that sort of thing. Maybe it just comes down to hard work, I'm not sure. But put it all together and you can understand that pretty rapid growth that you've had. Makes sense. Success definitely leaves clues if you're willing to look for them, right?
Yes.
So, as far as being a sensei, what would you say that your strengths are when it comes to being a sensei? You know, like we've got many instructors across the Central Coast, and they've probably all got different strengths.
Yep.
And depending on what a student wants to get from their karate, what their personal goals are, sometimes they can better find a path to reaching that goal by selecting the right sensei for them. Now, some of us just need to go to the local dojo to start off with and find, somebody there and get started. And then as we get more through our training, we start learning more and more. We understand what we want to get from the karate, what our personal strengths and weaknesses are. We can then, I guess, find the right trainer as well. So what would you say your strengths are in you as a sensei, you as in teaching, and if someone was looking to gain?
First thing that I try to achieve with my class is discipline, but not by using power and force, but by using humor and some enforcement on the other side. So I can be funny when necessary, but I also can be serious when it's required. I give a lot of fitness stuff at the start because I feel that it helped me, it should help other people. And I had some positive feedback from students that come to me regularly that, it definitely helped them grow, like do push-up that they never could do, for example. That was really nice to know. So it's working. And I also try to improvise when I see that something is not working in a specific class on a specific day. I can change my mind in the middle of the class and do something different.
Yeah. So you're able to read the crowd quite well by the sounds of it and change tack.
I would like to think that yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Sometimes it doesn't work. We'll all have bad days.
Yeah.
People come back, and that gives me idea that I'm probably doing the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay. And tell us a bit about your karate goals. What's Sensei Kirill working towards next? What are you wanting to achieve, and what are you working on?
If we talk close, or like not the very close timed goals, but like maybe average, middle distance, a year time, it's getting a black belt for sure. Like finally getting that black belt to restart the journey from a different perspective. So I also would like to learn how to do a proper spinning hook kick.
Yeah,
it's a little specifics, yes. But ultimately, I would love to get to the points when I can do stuff that you can do. Like you can come up with a lot of applications of katas that we have, or explain complex stuff in a simple way that I just don't know how it works. Just get knowledge from you and be able to apply it if I need to.
Yeah.
I don't feel I'm there yet, like not even close.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Like, so you've got your own personal karate goals, but you're also motivated as in becoming a better instructor, coach, whatever you want to sort of think.
As an instructor, I would like one of my students to get to the black belt one day.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a special day.
It is. Maybe I will, yeah. I hope I'll get to the day when it happens.
Yeah.
I'll live to that day.
I've no doubt you will, for sure. It's it's definitely a rewarding experience, for sure. I mean that's one of the great things about we can really affect positive change in someone's life, and if you've been able to have that kind of effect on someone, that they've gone through all the challenges that it takes to get a black belt, because no one gets a black belt without having to go through challenges, then that's a very positive impact on people's lives. Yeah.
Yes.
Great goal to have. That's awesome. All right. tell us a bit about the direction that you would like to see your class and your dojo take in the future. Like, give us a bit of a vision, I guess, of what you can see, either your mine or Woy Woy or both, or the peninsula as a whole. Like, what do you see in the future?
To be honest, I would love to see something similar to this dojo on Peninsula one day, where we have mats, we have mirrors, we can do stuff that we cannot afford doing right now because we are renting places, and we depend on them, how clean they are, how technologically advanced they are, and just have more people doing teaching there.
Yeah.
Like, that's something I think Peninsula is lacking at the moment. We need more people who can teach, be there on this side of the things.
More leadership.
More leadership.
Yeah. And I guess ultimately we would love that leadership to come from the peninsula. People,
Yes.
homegrown leadership, like people that come up through the ranks and start to take. Because it's not like you have to wait till you get the black belt, because you can jump into a leadership role, as in just helping out with signing in people and, you know, becoming a dojo host, so someone that welcomes new students in and makes them feel comfortable in the class and being involved in the class and ultimately just helping out some of the newer students. And part of that, I guess, obviously, is we invite those people to come along and do some training with us in the senior training, and that would most definitely, and then eventually some of those people may well become senseis themselves, and follow in your footsteps, replace yourself, duplicate, duplicate. Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty cool. That's a good vision there. I think we can definitely have a full-time centre there in the next couple of years for sure. Definitely. All right. Anything else that I mean, it's been a pretty good chat. It's been good. But anything else that you'd like to add as we wind it up?
I think first thing I want to say is to thank you for having me here and asking those questions, and more than that, you gave me a lot in my karate journey and in my life. So I'm very grateful that I met you and I'm following you. So I think, that's something we haven't talked about, but worth mentioning.
Thank you.
I guess if you didn't come here, I would probably stop doing karate. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Have an effect on yourself, and obviously we've become very good friends in the journey, and you know, the feeling's mutual. We'll definitely get a lot of reward myself from our friendship. So I look forward to your achieving your next goals and helping you to spinning hook kicks and celebrating when you can levitate, and obviously the black belt and beyond. So
and maybe winning a world
championship. Yeah, why not?
In opens.
In the opens, yeah. Bring it on. All right. Well, guys, thanks for taking the time to join us. And if you've gotten to this point, you've obviously listened to quite a bit of Sensei Kirill's story. If you've got any questions or anything else that you'd like to know that we didn't cover today, then I'll put the comments in the section below, and we'll do our best to get back to you. And if you have any other senseis that you would like us to interview and you'd like to get to know a bit better, then again, you can put your comments below, and we'll see what we can do. So thanks for joining us. Have a happy training. We'll see you in the dojo soon.
See ya.